All right, so this is gonna be very short, very brief, but we had a one-way movement. But I did drop a review on NASDAQ and S&P earlier. It was Monday around midnight, right? And I realized it was a blank screen. So I did another review, which I posted. It was like 5 minutes long, right? But it was during the session. So just to recap what I was expecting, right? This 1 hour level here, I was watching this as level. If we trade below it, we could use it as resistance and go lower. But I also mentioned how there's a 15-minute level that could easily be a barrier as well. So we also have to consider that and not just this 1 hour level. And that's where price end up bouncing from to then take us from, if you pay attention, this is a 750 level, right? 24 750. We're just going to highlight it right here. 24 750, make that a major number, right? So 24 750. We literally tap that. These are institutional levels that you can only imagine if you have a lot of money. Like, hey man, you have traders putting in trades where you say, just buy that at 25,000, buy that at 24,750. That's kind of how I think about like just very solid numbers, right? You would expect some type of institutional reaction at these levels. You see 24,750 price hit there and rejected and went 250 points to 25,000. Now let's go into the 50-minute chart to kind of see what was also in the way that led to that support. So you can see right here, this was a C4 on the 50-minute chart. This was marked out beforehand. And you see price drops in there and then just consolidated, right? And then gave us a nice another root zone here, a fair value gap. Price trades into that. 9 o'clock. Then just trades higher. And then this is also Sunday's opening gap, which I highlighted again on my video that was unfortunate blank screen. Sunday's opening gap, you can see how price traded above it. It comes in there and it goes higher. Now, what's important about this that I even didn't pay attention to, and quite frankly, I try to short it's Monday. Mondays, for some reason, for me, are just not the strongest suit. And I'm so close to getting to the point where I just say I'm no longer trading on Mondays. But what I've done is reduce how much I'm willing to risk on Mondays, since that just sets the tone for the week. So I've limited how much I want to risk, so that way I'm not fighting to get back into profitable position or get back on my profits on for the rest of the week. I've let Mondays deter me a lot of times, and the eventually final straw would be to stop trading Mondays. But regardless, what I was expecting to happen played out for some reason. You know how it is. Whenever sometimes you know exactly what you have a certain analysis, but you just for some reason your expectations are like, well, maybe just drop from here. And that happened to me today because it's Monday. Not giving any excuses, but point is, I did call it a Sunday opening gap, which is if you look here, right, this is where Friday closed, or Sunday open. So there's a nice little gap between 16:45, 18 o'clock. And if you stand that out, you can kind of see how price used it here during London session to drop price lower. And you see when price finally overcomes that, goes higher above that, it trades back in there. Now, what's important? Why I should have? There's a reason why I should have actually considered taking this trade. I didn't want to take the trade because at first I was like, well, we're way above 930 opening price. We're above the range we've created for the day. But there's another element that also determines whether it's worth taking the trade. And I'll talk about that very shortly here. So this is something where, again, for me, I guess it's just another lesson that I know, but like a lesson just brought back to my forefront of my memory. Let's go for a second. I want us to look at this bar replace for a second. And so right at this moment, right, 10:10. I just want us to look at 30. What was 30 doing at that time? 10:10. Notice how there's a nice little low here at 10 o'clock. Let's go back to NASDAQ. 10 o'clock low. It's over here. You see how price ran that out. It's more clear if we were to go on the 1 minute chart. So let's do this even further. 1 minute chart. See those right here? And then look at where Nat 30 was also in comparison. Like 30 already took out previous day's lows. NASDAQ did not show. NASDAQ showing you has strength in it. Right? So if you pay attention to this time here, 10 o'clock, right? And 10 ish. It's 10 o'clock. It's lows. Look at the 1 minute chart. See these lows right here? Notice how price not go below that level. Right? It didn't go below 10 o'clock lows. Now, if you look at NASDAQ one more time, where's 10 o'clock? Right here. These lows, even when consider these lows, price ran that out. Why should I have considered this trade and not been worried about the fact that I'm quote unquote buying um, price when it is expensive or at the highs? Well, one element was clearly midnight opening price. So we're still at midnight opening price. So this was still worth a trade entry, being that we drop lower, taking out liquidity, we're at midnight opening price, and we see SMT taking place. So that was worth an entry right here. Even if I didn't take that, as price went higher, expanded higher, and dropped lower into this nice little zone, this could have still been used for an entry right here. But I ignored it, just trying to short because so one's short. Even though everything I explained, if you look at my video, which you could have seen it, but if you look at my video, I mentioned how if price goes above the Sunday opening gap, right, it's shaded. This orange shade area, if we go above that, we can use that support to take price higher. Every element was pointing to why we should take buys, and again, this is when the human error plays a role. But this was an easy buy setup, actually speaking. If you, especially since I like to wait till after 10 p.m. And if I didn't get in here, right? We also had, if you look to your left, we had this order of down close candles right here. So this also was a C4 or order block. Okay, so I'm just going to 2x that so you can see clearly. That level here could have been used to even set a stop loss, right? Been 24 points, nothing crazy. And the expectation we could easily go to the next quarterly level, which is, again, what we saw price eventually gravitate to 25,000. So it was a smooth selling. And when I tried to short, which I tried 3 times, and each time was met with some little sell off, then it goes right back and crushes those I'm even trying to sell. Right? Even right here, I try to sell over here. So you see this fair value gap here highlighted. I did try to sell that. It gave a little drop, but nothing real substantial. But the real entry again was just down here because we already traded above Sunday's opening gap, and on top of that, we were also it was still okay to buy because we still hit midnight opening price. We're buying around there, so there's nothing wrong with buying around that price. So I didn't consider all the factors. All I was looking at is the fact that 9:30 opening price was here, already high in terms of the range, right, created for the day. So I didn't really want to buy that, but looking in hindsight, it did exactly what I was expecting to do to begin with. And there was a clear C4 to the left, and it gave a nice little blue zone here, or fair value gap here, after hitting the C4, which could be used to execute a trade to expect price and gravitate higher. So it was a missed opportunity, in my opinion. But again, it's Monday. The price just grinded its way higher and higher. So, the question is, do we eventually get price to drop? It's such a bullish market that I don't know. I mean, interest rates are being cut, going to melt up. Um, so for these markets to drop, I don't know. I think we just keep on grinding this thing up higher. I just don't know. But so where we stand right now though is just higher. I'm trying to see. These lows could get interesting, but there's no indication we're gonna come down here. Everything just looks like we're staying up. So what am I watching at this point? Just a bullish market. There's nothing. I really have nothing to say except for we're just constantly going higher, higher, higher. Look at the regular trading hour. I mean, we have to get some type of aggressive momentum to make us want to even target these lows or this low. But at this moment, it's like this price is grinding higher and higher and higher, higher. I don't see nothing changing this momentum. So we're gonna stick to that. If you look at a 1 hour chart, yeah, I mean, only again, only thing if you look on the daily chart is we do have this fair value gap here. If you look on the 4 hour chart, right, we have this low here that coincides with the daily fair value gap. So we have to get some strong momentum lower to then be expecting a price drive to these lows and maybe deeper into this wick here. But we're not, we haven't seen that, so I can't sit here and have such expectations. But going forward, what I will do, I will readjust this fair value gap to here. Here. So only way I get bearish now is if we literally trade below here and close. If you just drive into this, we can still expect another bounce to take us higher. I'm not really so fixed. I know I have this drawn here, but like this is above 50% of the range from this candle's low to high. So it's not as strong. Perhaps if we do close below it, maybe we get some resistance, drop us here. But it's not really the strongest fair value gap or loot zone. I'd rather see us drop lower in here if we can, and then use this as support. If we do trade below that, then I'll be eyeing this low, and that low. But there's nothing indicating that that's even in the cards right now at all. That's it. We'll see what tomorrow gives us. We'll see what tomorrow gives us for real. I'll constantly extend the Sunday opening gap to kind of see if we have any interest to go revisit that. But at this moment, all we can expect is higher prices, higher prices. If there's anything else I want to talk about, that's it for the most part. Dollar, anything on the dollar I like. Nothing really on the dollar. To me, still in consolidation. It just took out these lows, rejected. Nothing really super impressive. Euro. I don't think marked this one up, but yeah, took out these highs, rejected. I mean, these lows eventually are looking good. Mark up euro, I guess, for a second. It's all raw, okay? So hope you guys enjoy this one. It's just raw. Like, what am I? If I just look at the charts, what do I see? So just for a second, the fact that dollar hit those lows, long-term lows, and then we have euro. I'm not even gonna highlight that part, honestly. Okay. Euro on daily chart. What I'll be watching on euro is what I'm marking up right here. The only reason why euro or indices, I mean, forex even becomes interesting because indices just again grinding higher and higher and higher. So it's a little bit harder to trade to a degree. I've done well so far the past week, but I like trading within structure. 4-hour chart. I mean, with Euro, I'll be watching to see if price wants to get make his way towards some lows. Um, 15-minute chart for a second. Yeah, I'll be watching that slowly. Why is this? I'll be watching that. So Euro can get interesting, especially looking at this blue zone here. So if price comes down there, so I'm just gonna draw this out like this. Yeah, if price makes its way below here, perhaps you see a resistance play, and then price drifts lower. That's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro. If I'll just mark it up real quick, um, trying to make sure I didn't miss anything there. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of price dropping in here. I really do. So I guess Euro's one to watch, and the fact that the week has opened up and just gone higher, Euro's one to watch. I actually will be watching this to see if we eventually make our way back lower. And just look at pound for a second. Everything. Compare the two. Yeah, you can really see the difference, right? So pound failed to go above these highs from June 30th. Euro clear those highs, right? So that's already smart money. SMT, right? No, daily chart. I mean, pound looks even cleaner. Oh, what I've watched for pound is this as a rejection block. Rejection block right here. Go. And then we also have, I feel like this little zone above. And we have one right here too. But I want to go to forward charts kind of really strings on that. Forward chart. On our chart. Yeah, I mean, to me, this looks primed to want to drop. Yeah, I like pound. It doesn't have to go into this level. If it does, great. But for our base, I'd like to see this level be respected. So even for wicks in here, before I kind of close this, man, I like the idea of pound drifting lower. I really do. So pound eventually, I think, needs to find its way lower. Dollar needs to find its way higher. Is that what we're saying here? To make sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we took out look at this low, took out this low. So long term low right there. Reject it. Goes to daily chart. I mean, I think it just makes its way back to this level here above these highs. Yeah, 4 hour chart like this. So again, it's already dropped in a level where we can just start seeing price go higher, especially on dollar if it's serious. Yeah. So maybe we get some type of SMT, meaning dollar just runs below this low here, previous day's low, and then still rejects without pound doing that. Sure. It's worth to study, long story short. So, anyways, that's that. I'm expecting some type of bullish momentum on dollar, bearish momentum on pound. Even on bond market, we've kind of gotten to a level that's been holding up long term weekly fair value gap on the 30-year, 15-year, and 10-year. So only the 30-year actually has traded above. So this is interesting. If this does find momentum higher, even though it's an outlier, right? But if it does try to find momentum higher, then maybe dollar start going back lower. But the bond market's gonna go higher. This will also resort to dollar going lower. But again, not all of them. This is the only outlier. The 30-year has gone higher, made a higher high. Look at the other ones. You haven't seen that yet. So the bond market easily start rejecting, and we see lows here. If it starts rejecting, then that yield to dollar going higher. So in my opinion, I want to see the dollar go higher. I want to see um, pound go lower. I want to see euro also find its way lower. Take out these lows. Okay. So until next time, let's see what happens tomorrow. I'll give another update on price action tomorrow. But again, I really just trade indices for the most part. But I will be watching forex as well, just because we're all time highs in indices, and I kind of like. And the fact that dollar hit a long term low and rejected, I think this makes forex a little interesting. If I'm even gonna trade this, I'll trade the futures part of it, but it's just good to mark it up on the um, forex market. So until next time, talk to you guys later, and catch you on the next one.